Padams are some of the best items for Bharatanatyam artists to express the innermost feelings. But what are Padams? How did they come? What are the lyrics? You must know all of them, and so we go little more into details of what is a Padam. Padams are scholarly compositions, actually, most monologues. Padams stand on their own merits with their pristine music and emotion packed lyrics. It is a musical monologue which resembles a kirtan in structure and propagates the sentiment of love for God through the innumerable aspects of Nayaka and Nayika Bhav. It is a scholarly composition with a perfect blend of Sangeet and Sahitya. The Padams treat various aspects of Nayak Nayika Bhed, dwelling on Shingara, the erotic sentiment, depicting the longings of the Nayika for union with her Nayak or the beloved. The Bhakti school of poetry has found its finest expression in Padams, composed mainly in the medieval period. Kshatrigya is one of the greatest of composers of Padam. Madhur Bhava Bhakti is the main concept. It admits to outer word, the Shrigar, with an inner philosophical meaning. The Nayika is the soul, Jivatma, longing for the union with the Nayaka, the Paramatma, and helped by the Sakhi, the Guru, in her endeavor. The Geet Govind of Jayadev is the earliest work which deals with this concept. What is this? It is the concept of the Jivatma and Paramatma, which also comes out very beautifully in the Padam. Now, what is the structure of a Padam? Coming from the South Indian tradition of music and lyrics, the Padam comprises of a Pallavi, Anupallavi and Charanam. It may have multiple Charanas. In the original compositions, there are not many Sangatis. Those we hear now have been added over the years. The mudra or the signature of the composer may appear in the Pallavi, Anupallavi or also in Charanam. And what is the language of Padam? Padams are scholarly compositions in Telugu and Tamil. Though they are composed mainly as dance forms, they are also sung in concert on account of their musical excellence and aesthetic appeal. The language is simple and many times colloquial. Many of the words have dual meaning, so care has to be really exercised to understand the sentiment behind the composition and infuse it with the right bhava. Now we will look at the musical content of the Padam. As gems of melodic beauty, Padams stand unrivaled. The music is slow moving and dignified. The musical flow is continuous and sustained from one word to the other, calling for great expertise in rendering them, especially if they are in Vilamba Kalam or slow tempo. They have a depth of musical intricacies which bring out the Raga Bhava beautifully. There is an intensity of outpouring of emotions in Padams. The Padams have to be learned under able gurus who guide the student to present the Raga Bhava in the composition in its entirely, with every Anuswara and Gamaka emphasize the way it should be. Breath control is very important in Padams as the words are few and far between, so continuity in the sentiment has to be maintained. The long karvais have to be maintained with perfect shruti, shuddham and finesse. Also, in dance, you have to keep the abhinay strong and going. The ponderously slow gait has to be maintained with perfect kal pramanam. The ragas are usually indicative of the sentiment in the padam. The ragas specially noted for evoking typical rasabhavas such as Suruti, Ananda Bhairavi, Punnagavarali, Sahana, Ahiri, Mukhari, Hussaini, Navroz, Nilambari, Saurashtram, Ghanta, are to mention a few, are specially chosen for padams. Learning to sing the padam is as difficult as learning to do abhinaya to it with utmost involvement to evoke rasa in the rasika. The sangitam and sahityam of padam are heavy and the dancer has to master them. And the rhythmic aspect, along with the musical content, there is a strong rhythmic aspect. Most padams are in slow tempo, especially the Telugu ones. Tamil padams are generally faster in pace, many are in Madhyama Kala. To bring out the lilting gait in the padams, they are set to Mishra Chapu Talam and Triputta Talams. And how are they placed in the concert? In the words of the eminent dancer Srimati Bala Saraswati, in dancing to padams, one experiences the containment, cool and quiet of entering the sanctum from its external precinct. Dancing to the padam is akin to the juncture when the cascading light of worship are withdrawn and the drum beats die down to the simple and solemn chanting of sacred verses in the closeness of God. It is therefore placed after the Varnam, when the dancer and the Rasika are deeply involved and ready to explore the finer aspects of dance and music with concentration. In Carnatic music concerts too, the Padam comes after the main ragam has been sung, late in the concert. By then, the singer's voice has mellowed sufficiently and she is relaxed enough to sing the Padam in all grandeur, and the dancer has achieved an height and now floats to the Abhinay. The music here is slow, dignified, and flows in national manner. All padams are replete with raga bhava and sustained balance in maintained between the music and words throughout. All charanams have the same music. The padams lend immense scope to expression of variegated sentiments and shades of emotions in a very leisurely tempo with exquisite raga bhava. Kshetragna has done yeoman service to the cause of Carnatic music and dance in his choice of the appropriate raga, perfectly suited to the sentiments and emotional atmosphere of the Sahitya. Of the ragams employed by Kshatrigya, Mohanam, Kalyani, Pantuvarali, Shri, Suruti have been used to depict Sambhoga Shringara, love in union. Some of these also have been used to depict the Vipralamba Shringara, that is love in separation. The mood of a particular context in a padam is usually very complex and is the resultant of various circumstances and problems of emotional nature. The Sahitya of padam alone may not be able to reveal the mood of the situation. When suitable music is used, the meaning of the Sahitya is forcefully expressed, and it gives ample scope to the dancer to exploit the music and Sahitya. Most Padam compositions deal with the theme of separation in love, with ample scope for varied treatment, and the ragams have been so shaped as to suit the theme and the context. For example, Saveri has been used as a vehicle for expressing the interface of Naika, born of pride and excessive love towards her lover, and also to portray Karuna Rasa arising from the quarrel between the lovers. What is the emotional content of the Padam? Padams, as you know, occupy a unique place both on account of their heavy musical content and high literary value. The elastic nature of Padams affords a fertile field for portraying various rasas in all their delicate shades for the dancer. The tempo of the compositions also contributes to the creation of deep enjoyment. The audience also should be aware of the Nayaka Nayiki relationships and their subtle shades to be able to enjoy the Padam. All the rasas, all the 8 rasas, find their place in Padams. Moods like anger, expectancy, jealousy, love, aggressiveness, self-aberration, sorrow, and a mixture of various emotions get portrayed in Padam very effectively by expert dancers. The Tamil Padam is often on Lord Subbaraya, that is Kartikeya, and Lord Shiva, whereas the Telugu Padams often have Lord Krishna as their Nayaka. In the past, some Padams were also addressed to the royal patrons. A Padam may have its protagonist, a Nayaka, a Nayiki, or a Sakhi, who bring out the appropriate emotions. The Tamil Padams composed in the later half of 18th and the 19th centuries broadly fall into categories: Bhakti and Shringar. Some of the Bhakti oriented Padams employ Shringar in the Madhura Bhakti mode. Muthu Tandava's Tharuvil Varano is a classic example of this genre. By addressing a god, some of the Shringara Padams border on the Madhura Bhakti. Kavi Kunjara Bharati's enchanting compositions such as Varattum Swami, Varattum on Maruga fall into this category. Many Padams depicted day-to-day situations and emotions. They are monologues with catchy refrains as their Pallavi. In the court were many artists vied with one another to get attention of the patron. These compositions scored over poetry that was recited and sung. The Padams could be performed in dance far more vividly than recitation or music. The composers wrote from real life around them and picked up words and phrases in common parlance, chiefly among the women of their times. Hence, a Nayika fretting over the tardiness or infidelity of her Nayaka could be compared to a maiden today lamenting over her lover's behavior. The spokesperson of Shringar Padam could be a maiden, a friend advising a Nayika, a mother chiding the errant daughter, a matron and mistresses quarrelling amongst each other, and so on. Human nature is the same then and now anywhere in the world. Hence, the audience anywhere in the globe can relate to the Padams and emotions portrayed therein. However, it is to be borne in mind that underlying these emotions is a deep philosophical connections of the yearning of the Jivatma to become one with the Paramatma. As we have seen so far, that a lot of items are sung and presented, danced as the Nayika, and the hero is the Nayaka. But here in Padam, you can find a male hero describing the emotions as he feels toward the Nayika. To find himself described as the cynosure of the maidens of the land, It would flatter the male ego also, to no doubt. So, here there are two issues. One, when the Nayika describes the Nayaka all the time. So, the Nayaka is really feeling great. And it is to be remembered that this was an exclusive male domain and the songs were composed by also by the males, for the males and of the females. Many of the padams indulge in description of the female anatomy and were perhaps not meant for general public. The lyrics are conversational, colloquial, ungrammatic and have a liberal sprinkling of words and phrases that are region specific and dialect oriented. The reader is flummoxed by indecipherable words such as Pathakku, Alavadi, Koetti, Indambu, Tholi, etc. These may be absolute or an error of the scribe. It is to be remembered that these songs were passed down through learning by the ear and not by published lyrics to follow. They were the part of the oral traditions of music and the dance. It is possible that the singer or the dancer or the listener or all three were not well versed in poetry and merely repeated what they assumed to have heard. A revisiting of padams from the perspective of dance offers a rich and verified field for exploring through Abhinaya. A survey of the heroines proves that here is the God's plenty. Bhanudatta's Rasamanjari describes more than 1,000 types of heroines. It is unlikely that many of the composers of the Padams were even aware of the treatise or the classifications. They wrote from real life around them and picked up words and phrases in common parlance, mainly amongst the women of their times. Hence, a Nayika fretting over the tardiness or infidelity of a Nayak could be a parallel to a maiden today, lamenting over her lover's behavior. The spokesperson of the Shingar Padam could be a maiden, a matron, a mother, chiding the errant daughter, a friend advising the Nayika, concubines bickering about each other, and so on. Human nature has no boundaries of time or of space, as you know very well. Therein lies the appeal of the Padams to an audience today in any part of the globe, that the music which is most fallaciously and inseparably entwined with the words enhances the haunting mood of the lyrics and emotions. These reiterate what Bharatanatyam is, the visual form of Carnatic music, and elevate the dance into the Drashya Kavyam, that is the visual poetry. While it is fairly obvious that Padams must have been inspired by day-to-day occurrence and observations, not much is known about the context in which they were composed. Wherever information is available, it is a piece of jigsaw puzzle of the social life of the times. Regardless of the hows, whys and wherefores of their creation, the Tamil Padams stand on their own merit, with their pristine music and emotional packed lyrics. For those who clamour today for secular themes in dance, here is a gold mine. The music, which is most inseparably entwined with the lyrics, enhances the haunting mood of the poetry and the emotions. This reiterates that Bharatanatyam is the visual form of Carnatic music and elevate the dance to the Drashya Kavyam. The famous composers and their padams that we now will go through. Kshetrajna of the 17th century is considered the father of Shringar Padams. He is credited with more than 4,000 compositions. Can you imagine 4,000 compositions? Although only a handful have survived. He composed his songs on his favorite deity Gopala, that is Krishna in Telugu. He perfected the Padam format that is still today used. His Padams are sung in dance and music recitals. A unique feature of his Padams is the practice of singing the Anupallavi first, followed by the Pallavi. Most of the Padams deal with longing for the arrival of Lord Krishna. As you can see the beauty of these Padams, you also realize that the oral traditions on one level gives freedom to create and freedom to explore. It on other level, it is very dangerous situations that so much gets lost. So we need to establish both oral and written traditions, and I think this kind of courses will help in generating the need of the time. Again, let's go back to Kshatrigya. His Padams are replete with Shringara as the main theme in expressing the Madhura Bhakti. Kshatrigya has used the mudra or his signature as Mover Gopala as a reference to himself, which is also a name for the Lord Krishna in Kshatrigya's village, Mover. The striking feature of his Padams is that he uses very few words to describe expansive ideas, thus allowing for elaboration of emotions and situations. The words of these Padams, couched in the fine Telugu, are often very beautiful and are full of imagery, most poetical, and set to music equally plaintive and appealing to the senses. Therefore, they are best suited for Abhinaya with their irresistible charm, complex musical intricacies, and unhurried lilting gait. Ettuvanti Vade Vadu in Kalyani, Ilevanchi Hitvane in Navroz, Rama Rama Prana Sakhi in Bhairavi, Ninnu Juda in Punnaga Varali, Chudare in Sahana are some of his most popular Padams, touching upon different emotions and situations. Ghanam Krishna Iyer composed Padams of a very high order in Tamil. He was called the Tamil Kshatrigya, and his compositions Valavare in Bhairavi, Perangum Parthalum in Kalyani, Nidirail Sopantil in Pantuvalari, and Shumma Shumma in Atana are well known. His mudras included Muthukumara and Velar. Sarangapani belonged to the 17th century and lived in Chittoor district, was proficient in Sanskrit as well as Telugu. He was a poet and an expert in music and Natya Shastra. Sarangapani has composed not only in popular raga like Ananda Bhairavi, Kedara Gauda, Shankara Bharanam, but also in ragas like Saranga, Todi, Karnataka Saranga. He has also composed Padams to suit Natya according to Bharata Shastra Lakshana. Sarangapani's Padams are not as erotic as many of Kshatrigyas. In Andhra, even today we can hear his Padams being sung in many households. His famous Padams include Ichina Manachide in Dhanyasi, Sulu Sulu in Saranga, Pattakura Nagonku in Ananda Bhairavi, Vakkalaina in Kapi, among others. He used the mudra Venugopala. Muthu Tandavara was considered the father of Tamil Padams. Some 60 songs and 25 padas composed by Muthu Tandavara have been published. Teruvil Varano, the famous Khamas Rag Padam, is one of his most known compositions. The beauty of his composition lies in the simplicity of diction and a direct expression of ascetic experience. His padams were in praise of Lord Nataraja. Shubbarama Iyer in the 19th century composed several padams which are very popular with dancers. Aduvum Sholluval, Ethanai Shonnalun, Netrandi Neratile, Ichai Vare, Vandumo Sakshi are some of his oft danced padams. Maharaja Swati Tirunal of the Travancore composed several padams for Mohiniyattam. Many of them are well known: Aliveni Entu Chevyu, Kanthanodu Chennu, Kamini Mani Sakhi, among others, are used in dance. In his courts, the Tanjore quartet too composed several padams. His mudra varied, all dedicated to Padmanabha. So, here we have discussed and seen some of the famous composers of padams. Their padams, emotional packed and in special ragas, were used and are used much in Carnatic concert singing and also in Bharatanatyam dance. Now we shall go and see and discuss now perhaps the Nayikas. You must be wondering what kind of Nayak and the Nayikas were portrayed in this beautiful padams. A Nayika standing is always relative to her Nayaka, as you have seen in the Ashtanayikas. A loyal chaste woman faithful to her beloved like Sita or Rukmini is called Sviya. In the padam Talusukonte, the Nayika is Sviya, one who is married to one but longs for another is Parakiya. The gopis of Vrindavan and even Mirabai can be considered Parakiya. In the famous padam Maduduchi Pilachedu, the Nayika is a Parakiya one. Those who are free to accept any man, sometimes for a consideration, are called Samanya. Ichina Manachide, as well as in padam, the Nayika is a Samanya one. Padams are perfect vehicles to illustrate the Ashtavida Nayikas. Theruvil Varano, the Nayika is ready and waiting for her Lord Ratraj. In Dari Duchuchudi, also the Nayika prepares for his visit, and this is what her Sakhi conveys to the Nayika. Both are examples of Vasak Sajika Nayikas. A Virhodkantita Nayika suffers the pangs of separation and longs to be united with her Lord. In the Valaputhala or Swati Tirunal, the Nayika is unable to live without her Lord Padmanabha. Similarly, in Netru Verenu Endru, the Nayika is anxious at the non-appearance of her beloved. A Proshit Patika Nayika is the one who, though in separation, is confident of being reunited with her Lord. A Swadhin Patika Nayika is the one who is sure of her Lord's love and the loyalty. She sings the praises of her beloved in Enthachakkadi Vade. A Vipralabdha Nayika is the one who is in doubt and disappointed with her lover, as in Netrandi Neratile. As well in Swati Tirunal's Valaputala Vasama. A Khandita Nayika is the one who is angry with the Lord for betraying her and turns him away. The Indendu Vachiti Vira, the Nayika is full of sarcasm for the errant Lord and send him away. A Kalhantarita Nayika repents after spurning her Lord in anger. In Maname Bhusamanu, she repeats and tells her Sakhi, she has been so foolish. In Netru Varane Indu, too, the sentiment expressed is similar. A Proshit Bhartika Nayika is the one who longs for her Lord when he is away on a long journey. In Ninnu Chuda and Ninnu Juchi, she tells him on his return how much she has missed him. When we talk about Padams, we also need to acknowledge the immense contribution made by Veena Dhannammal and her family. Veena Dhannammal learned these Padams from Balakrishna Das, who in turn had studied under Veena Gauri Ammal. Veena Dhannammal's aesthetic and musically sensitive nature enabled her to invest these Padams with appropriate, intricate gamakas, delicate nuances in sangatis to enhance the lyrical beauty of the Padams, all couched in simple elegance in a leisurely, unhurried style. She taught these Padams in all their purity to her daughters and granddaughters. The tradition was continued by T. Brinda and T. Mukta, who learnt under their grandmother Veena Dhannammal directly. They in turn have taught the present day performers, and of course the legendary Bala Saraswati, who was part of the direct descendant of the Veena Dhannammal tradition. Thus, through Padams, a wide gamut of emotions, states and situations can be described. While the singer highlights the exquisite music and poetry of the Padam, the dancer weaves myriad emotions into the lyrics, moving along the lovely contours of music. Undoubtedly, the Padam makes the most challenging demands on an artist. Padam Varannum. To sing a Padam, one has to be mature and mellow, is a Tamil refrain pun oft quoted by teachers of yore. The dictum would apply to the dancers as well. A major drawback dancers face today is the lack of musicians who can do justice to the mighty Padams. In their early times, there were musicians who were exclusive to Padam singing and who sang for the second half of the concert. Jayamma's Padam rendition for her daughter Bala is legendary. In today's world, affording two singers is out of the question, and so compromises are made. When the music and Abhinaya are both of a high order, the Rasika experiences sheer bliss. One hopes that in the years to come, this rich legacy is not forgotten in the quest for doing something new, something different. Such a glorious tradition and inheritors has to be preserved, has to be nurtured, and has to be performed so that more and more people appreciate the effort put in this by great composer to enrich our culture. Since Bharatanatyam has travelled beyond the Tamil and the Telugu speaking land, many choreographers, teachers and performers of caliber have used padas from various other languages such as Hindi, Gujarati, Marathi, Bengali, etc. to expound the depth of Abhinaya. It has helped in multiple levels. The student is able to understand better and can bring out the nuances of emotion and the culture. The audiences relate much easily to the known language and lyrics. Many of the known and unknown poets of different languages are danced across India in and also in diaspora. It is now an established pattern to include at least one regional language padam in the concert. The Gujarati Bhakti and Shingar Geet, Marathi Abhang, Rabindra Sangeet songs and songs of Meera and poetry of many contemporary poets are danced by all. The subject ranges from Shingar to Valor to contemporary issues. The best part is that the rich and horizon of Bharatanatyam has widened and creativity enhanced. So, all kinds of Naikas, as you see, can be beautifully portrayed in this love padams. The Tamil padams, composed in the later half of the 18th and 19th centuries, broadly fall into two categories, Bhakti and Shingar. Some of the Bhakti oriented Padams don the garb of Shingar in the Badura Bhakti mode. Muttu Tandava's Theruvil Varano is a classic to this genre. By addressing a god, some of the Shringara Padams make presence of Madhura Bhakti. Kavi Kunjara Bharati's enchanting composition, such Varattum Sami Varattum on Muruga, fell into this. Both varieties for all purposes can be taken for secular padams depicting day to day situations and emotions. They are monologues which catchy refrains as their pallavi. In the milieu where artists jostle in the court and vie with one another to catch the attention of the patron, these compositions had an edge over poetry that was recited and sung. The padams could be performed in dance far more vividly than recitation or music. There are so many padams, often dance, and also many, more than 30 are made very famous by the Veena Dhannamal family in dance. So, you have an idea, a detailed idea of the depth of the padams and how they are the treasure trove for Abhinaya in dance.